Robbo, what'd you say to him at half time? Because whatever it was seemed to really spur a performance there in that second half.
Yeah, there was a couple of good things. Obviously, Right Edge had a discussion around sort of what we were seeing in the first half and what we thought we could attack in the second half. And then it was a really nice sort of battle in that first half. But ill discipline, was giving away field position for both teams, I thought. And so pretty clear how we wanted to start, and really good effort from the 13 that went back out there to start the second half and laid a really good platform. And then Right Edge did a great job at executing sort of some of those plays and pulling apart that left edge.
Just how pleasing was it as a whole, with everything to play for, their big occasion. You were really kind of flat last week, and that to perform like that on that stage down here in Melbourne.
Yeah, that was, it's pleasing when, it's interesting when it's all on the line and you have to perform. That doesn't mean you always do. You have to prepare yourself, and the guys have to get individually ready to do their role to the best of their ability. And I've seen the real growth in our team over the last couple of months, and I'm really proud of where we're getting to there. Still a long way to go, but we're on the right track there.
Sets up a bit of obviously results this weekend can determine whether it matters or not, but the prospect of playing the Rabbitohs for a final spot pretty much.
Yeah, it's obviously an exciting week for both fans and neutrals as well, and Friday night at home, and it sets up a really good contest, and so it should. The sort of the old rivals going at it. It's be a good week.
Mark, Nick Tuasi, obviously will get a lot of praise for his 4 tries, but James Tedesco, your captain, had a massive game.
Yeah, I thought Teddy set his game up really well. It's obviously we've had watching Billy Slater play down here for so many years, and the way he went about the game, and but fullbacks watching how to set up a game and how to vary up a game. Watching tonight's game, it's a pretty special way to play fullback. It's a real, it's a credit to where he starts, his support, his attacking of the ruck, his movement to an edge. It was a really class performance.
South game next week. There's obviously going to be a lot of crap flying around this week. It always is when you guys play each other.
Yep.
Do you tell the blokes to just steer clear of it, don't get involved, or embrace it, or how do you?
Yeah, you've got to respect our rivalry, right? So and you can't tell them not to feel it. That's we're human beings. We understand what it means when those two jerseys play each other. And it'll be great. The week will be great. The talk around it and all of that will be exciting, and people will come through the gates and all of that. And our job is to play the best footy we possibly can. We've obviously moved on different. We've crossed the line a few times in those games and that, but our path's pretty clear. We know what we want out of this season, and next week's critical for that.
You have to have that conversation, Robbo. Sorry, Brady. The fact that Souths aren't playing for anything, there is that potential to kind of ruffle feathers and try and get under you guys' skin, and we've seen those games go that way before.
Look, it is. The external emotion comes into it, but nothing changes. Nothing's more important than the way that you want to play the game, and the way that you see yourself on that field, and the way that you want to play and represent. And so you don't have to tell them not to do something. It's have you got a clear vision of how we play the game and the spirit that you play with? That's what you ask for, and when we're at our best, we honour that, and that's that. It's not about don't do. It's what to do is the way to approach it.
That second half, what do you think that might do for your season in terms of your belief? Beating, Melbourne's never conceded that many points in a second half. Do you think it could be, a really important part of your season?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not sure. There's a lot of belief in what we're doing, and we've been on 1 week at a time for a little while now, and that's not going to change. Our belief was there before the external belief, and we're just going to keep going. I think I said it the other week that we've burnt the boats and we're going for it. So, and that is about playing a certain style, and the second half did help in how to play a certain style of footy. But every game you've got to adapt to.
Robert?
How special was that performance by Mark tonight? And is he an emerging superstar of the competition?
I think he's doing some stuff there. There's a high intelligence. There's a really good. He's carries out of the backfield. He's finishing in the tries, but then there's some smarts in and around how he looks after the ball and how he knows his position on the field and his feet, the position of his feet. There's a lot of little things there that are incredibly impressive. So, yeah, I'd say he's on a good path.
Rob, I want to be careful how I ask this, but I mean, obviously we're looking ahead to the South game, and
Yep.
you're going to be playing against Brandon. He's
Yep.
obviously been in the news this week, and he's a former player of your club. Didn't
Yep.
leave on great terms. How do you view that, and how do you think the players will view that?
The one thing when you coach someone, you always respect them. That's it doesn't matter what's gone on. He used to play for this club. You spend time with him, you care for him, and I don't see that distracting us from what we're doing. I know that will be a story. I know there's a real interest in that, but I just see what we're trying to become as a team as more important than anything else that's going on. And I know it's a big story, but in the end, it's up to us we play rugby league. That's what we're supposed to do. And so, we're just going to go out and play.
Trent, from the coaching perspective, you were able to really, one of the strengths of the game tonight was that time in possession game. Like, you had so much time, in particular in the second half.
Yeah.
You had, like, at one point about 7 or 8 minutes in more possession of the ball than what they had. You really used that as a real strength tonight. You really put them on the back foot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of the game. Possession and time in possession is really important. It was quite even, I'd say, in the first half, was it?
Yeah.
I'd say it was. And then I thought we had to fix some things up in defence, and I feel like we did that. They ended up increasing their risk, created some errors, and then also scoring tries obviously gets back-to-back sets quite well. So putting those two things together increased our possession.
And the game on the far right tonight, you must have been really impressed with his performance. Really set the game up, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, he was outstanding. I just said to him then, I took him off. Obviously, I would have put him back on if I needed to. But he's got a motor and an intensity about him. He was, I mean, obviously the try he saved with Stefano underneath the posts on that run on last, I think that was his third or fourth tackle within that set. And he had to make it. And his ability to carry the ball, but he's also got an intensity in D. He's forming himself into one hell of a player. And all you can do is say thank you to guys like that when they go out there and play that time and play the way they do. And it's pretty good for 23.
Robbo, all distractions this week, 10-0 down at half-time. The players have performed in the second half. They're incredibly excited. They're on a high. You've come in here, you seem very measured. Are you happy with that performance tonight?
Yeah. You definitely, like, it's not, you don't get giddy, like that's, the job's not over, so I think you can feel like I'm really proud of the guys, and there's a care when I'm talking about Mark or Nafahu or those sort of guys, but there's also, you always know there's next week. There's always next week, until there's not. And so that's important to make sure that, when you finish there, obviously you saw Craig at the end, like an amazing achievement, but he's already thinking about, on his celebration, he's talking about next week. That's how it works, and so, yeah, you start to work towards how to set up this week, and it's already started.
Sam Walker, all good next week.
Yep. Yeah, as long as I think there's a couple of more stages to pass there, but it's all on track.